Y'all, first off, welcome to Divine Speaks with Leash. I am Leash if you love me, Alicia if you gotta love me if you're here. So, I'm Leash. First off, let me just say, I recorded a whole video a minute ago. I called myself pausing it. It's gone. It's gone. That's okay. We're just gonna flow. Flow with the energy. That's what we need to do every day. Every time something unexpected comes up, something unplanned, something goes differently, whatever, just flow with it, y'all. The resistance, trust me when I tell you, resistance will get us nowhere faster. And then we'll be sitting around looking crazy because things didn't go right. But, let me try to do this way. Let me try to do it that way. That's how life teaches us. We need to try to just continue to try. We don't need to try to do anything. Honestly, we just need to flow with it, and whatever feels right is what it is. And that's what I was talking about the first go round. Thank you, Source, for bringing it back to my heart. Is authenticity. I won't say that I struggled with that, but it was definitely something that had me in a bit of a chokehold for a long time. Even in the most sacred of spaces that I was in, the most deeply loved that my soul has ever felt this lifetime, for sure, maybe even ever. And I still didn't allow myself to feel how inauthentic I was being. And I used to think inauthentic was just being fake in some two-faced way, right? But it's really just, not just, but it's a lot of things, right? You're inauthentic when you laugh at a joke that you don't think is funny. You're inauthentic if you are looking sad when you really want to smile. You're being inauthentic when you agree with someone's point of view that you really in your mind what the are they talking about? I do not. And then you go whisper to yourself or to your next door neighbor about how crazy Susie Q over here is and da-da-da-da-da. You're just causing more issues, drama, traumas, all sorts of things, right? So it's when we're authentic, we don't have to worry about it. It's the most easy breezy life. And I'm not saying, I got it, I figured it out, now I'm authentic all the time. I can catch myself, that is always my intention, is to be my most authentic self. And because it's more of a new thing for me, I've been on my return home, people say spiritual journey, I may say that sometimes, but it really feels like I've been on my return home for the last 4 years or so, 3 or 4 years, really in the nitty gritty of it the last 2.5, 3 years. Really getting that most beautiful, most divine love, like I said, and acceptance, and that's very sacred space that I was in. And I'm always eternally grateful for that space and all the beautiful souls that, put in the energy, true love, and genuine, efforts, for lack of a better word, but energy towards my soul's growth. And I trust that if you're here with me, that there is something that I can help you with. Because me talking to you about my story and what I have, going on my path, I know it's going to resonate because we're all interconnected. And it may be different for me in the way that it is for you, but it's the same thing. The last video I said, it was the same difference or something. It's the same difference. It's the same process in a different way based on our individual soul's path, journey, contract, all that, right? But no matter what, it's these foundational things. You have universal universal laws. Nothing is by chance, but you have universal laws that dictate everything. Whether you consciously or subconsciously are aware of them, they are the rules and the laws of the universe, right? So they say that the saying, think, therefore I am. Really, it's feel, therefore you are. Because you can think whatever. And if you really don't feel that way, because you're being inauthentic, that's really not what it is. It's not. You can be up, down, tomorrow, yesterday, next week, saying it, but it's really not it. Promise you. So it's no matter what the situation is, be true to you. in that moment. Don't worry about quote unquote backlash or what somebody's gonna say. They're gonna go run tell so and so, then I gotta hear from them. So, and you don't have to hear from nobody. Stand 10 toes down on what the hell you said, and that's it. And mean it from your heart with no ill intent. It's just how you feel. You love yourself enough to express authentically. And I was once told, and it's like one of the most, I got so many profound messages and insights, but one thing I was once told was not only are mistakes aren't our spiritual curriculum, but we express to release, not for an outcome. We express to release, not for an outcome. Meaning we say what we need to get off our chest just to get it off our chest. We're not worried about if they cuss us out. We're not worried about if they feelings hurt and they start crying. We're not worried about it. We care, don't get me wrong. We're not out to be malicious and mean. But it's prioritizing ourselves first. Instead of biting your tongue and having that little in your gut because you didn't say what you needed to say, or you walk away and now you're frustrated with yourself and you're eating a gallon of ice cream, drinking a half bottle of wine. I can drink a whole bottle if it's that kind of day. But you know what I mean? Like, you get into this, and then you get into these like self-destructive habits, thoughts, or whatever, just because you didn't do something or say something in the moment and were authentic when you said it. It's like a spiral. I know y'all know what I'm saying. Somebody out there know you're probably doing it right now, and you're trying to balance it by listening to this video, but you drinking to take away your woes, and you smoking to take away your woes, versus what those things are intended to help us with. By the way, they're not, people say spirits and this and that, yeah, of course there's always some truth to that, but there's always an opposite side of the truth that's truer, right? So same thing, but you can take anything and abuse anything. You could be overeating, over smoking, over drinking, over watching TV, over talking on the phone, over social media, whatever. Like, you can overdo whatever, and then you have to catch yourself. You have to be mindful in the moment that you're doing that. Okay, now you're mindful. Now you have to ask yourself, why am I doing that? Oh, damn, because when I was talking to so-and-so, or that person ran over my toe walking down the street, and I told them it was okay, and I knew they did it on purpose, but I didn't say nothing because I was going to go off. Or if I go there, that seems to be my thing. Like, if I go there, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. Or I'll say, I can cut you to the white meat. No offense to the Caucasians of the group, but I'm just saying, like, to the part, everybody got white meat once you cut that skin open, right? So it's like, I had to learn, like, that was just me being mean and spiteful, and that dark side, and not the light dark side. Those are two different things, by the way. But that dark side, then I would have an excuse as to why I did it, because they shouldn't have, and I would just justify the hell out of my actions, or lack thereof, convince myself. I'm convincing, I guess you could say. So I knew I could, like, finagle people around me to believe what I needed them to believe, and it was just wild. It was so untrue, so inauthentic, and it allowed me to see that about myself. Like, I had to realize, okay, you can be very manipulative without trying sometimes, and whoa, when you try, whoa. Yeah, but it's manipulating it because of fear of being seen, fear of being, like, even now I'm still getting used to this videoing and just being open-hearted and authentic. I don't do this per se. I did not do this in a previous part of my life, this lifetime, but this is what I do. My soul knows this to be true. So it's like, because I became more authentic about who I truly am, realizing that there's so many parts of me that were not me, or that are no longer me, right? So it's like, yeah, that was me. You have to give yourself permission to grow, despite the rapid or lack thereof, or despite the pace of growth everybody around you is having. if you know that you've outgrown this friend group and you don't like the same things that you used to like with them, and you don't like to do the same things you used to like to do with them, that's okay. And they can say all sorts of things, you fake, you phony, she was never like that in the first place, and how you just gonna switch it up and now all of a sudden you don't. Yeah, that is very possible. So you outgrow people and everybody thinks it has to be this fallout, and because no, you can simply be chilling with your homegirls, your homeboys one day, and just look around, get this feeling in your heart like, this ain't for me no more. And you don't have to rationalize it. You don't have to say, oh, it must be the liquor. Oh, I must be so high. This is my girl since 6th grade. No, what you felt is true. Honor that. And walk away with grace and with love and with gratitude for all the lessons, the experiences, the laughs, the memories, all of everything that situation and those people brought to you. Because whether it's seen in that moment or a year from now or 5 years from now, I guarantee there's always going to be something that pops up like, oh wow, I see why I used to hang out with X, Y, and Z. That never even hit me till now. That happens to me all the time now. All the time. Like, oh, I cut this person off. And now, it was like, oh, that's not for me anymore. That's not for me. You know? And realizing that that's such a superpower. To feel yourself so deeply and be so in tune with yourself that at any given moment, you can remove your energy where it no longer is resonating that it needs to be at. It's not being reciprocated or appreciated or valued, or it's just no longer a space for your energy to be in. And you're like, oh, thank you, Source. I'm done now. You know? And it just goes away. Right? And then you can grow. Then you can go to the next level. And you continuously do it. You continuously do it. Continuously do it. And different paths of life. Work, home, love, repeat type of deal, right? So if you're really feeling that in this moment, there's everything around you just seems overwhelming. It feels like, nothing is the same anymore. And it's not that anything is the same anymore or different, it's that you're different. You've grown. And a lot of times we don't realize that. We don't see that about ourselves because nobody is supposed to tell us that we've grown. But that's validation. We don't need it. It's nice to have here and there, but it'll get you in a whole world of trouble. Trust me, okay? When y'all hear me say, trust me, I'm going to tell you, that means I've been through the trenches of these things, this lifetime and multiple lifetimes. And it's compounded. So trust me, you don't need validation. You are your validator. The growth and what you feel is what matters. As long as you're being true and authentic, because we can lie to ourselves, right? So, but if you're being true and authentic, then that means there's going to be a whole lot of uncomfortable moments, I heard somebody say today, and I think I've heard it before, but the way she said it, it just hit because the timing, right? Divine timing. She was like, I got comfortable in the uncomfortable. She's like, and then that's just so beautiful or something like that. But she said, I got comfortable in the uncomfortable. And I used to run from the uncomfortable. No, I don't know nothing about that. Nope, not doing it. And so many times in my life, I said it and went to something else. From religion, came up in a very Christian household, Pentecostal, right? Then I I realized and came into remembrance of my spirituality. I always questioned religion in a lot of different ways, and that stuff didn't make sense. It just didn't make sense even when I was a kid. I'm like, well, if he's a God, how come I'm not a God if I'm a child of God? How come I'm human if he God? It didn't make sense because we are gods and goddesses as well. Then there's another part that says something about what was it? Oh, I think it was something Jesus, which Joshua is a real being. He's an ascended master. It's just they distorted his energy. But in the way they promote Jesus in the Bible, it was like, ye will do even greater things than I. Like, I've done these wondrous things or something, and you will do even greater things than I. I remember, I don't know if I was in Sunday school or something. I was like, good question. So if Jesus did, he parted the seas and he turned water into wine and he fed all these people with these 3 fish and these 5 loaves of bread, or whatever reverse of that, I was like, so we gonna do something better than that? No, we can't, because that's Jesus and he did it, but that's not. But that's what he said. You just read to me that he said that we were going to do greater things to him and we're his children, the God. Like, the stuff that makes sense. That's when I was like an overthinker, like on 20, but I was like this free thinker, overthinker child. And shit didn't make sense. I got on their damn nerve, y'all. But, as I found myself and found more of my spiritual essence, I started to tie those things together. It started to come together. I started doing more, like, meditation is huge for me. It was very challenging at first, because my mind's always going all over the place, but that's normal. So if you're trying meditation right now, that's coming to me. Somebody, you're trying to do meditation, you can't figure out why, you can't just focus. Realize that that's not going to happen off the bat, and even as you get better into it, it's going to take a long time before you can just sit there like Buddha himself and just be in meditation completely. Like, just give yourself grace and compassion. Grace and compassion. Y'all heard me say it before. I'm going to continue to say it because it's so important to give ourselves true grace and compassion and patience. Note to self. Because I be trying to like, oh, I did this. Let's go. I'm ready for the next step. And Source is like, pump your brakes. No, you're not. You're not ready yet. I know you feel like you're ready, but we still got some stuff cooking in the back. The meal's not ready yet. But have some compassion and grace with yourself as you're evolving, as you're changing, as new things are coming to you, as old things are shedding from you, right? And don't have this concrete parameter set as to how it's going to go. I'm not saying don't have plans, and you're supposed to, have abundance planning and all these different things. Yeah, but if the things flow differently than what's on your list or how you don't even have a list. Just have things, just bullet points. It's not like check 1, check 2, check 3. Just okay, bullet point, and then you have the subcategories. Let the subcategories just be blank. Just add a bullet point. Okay, I'd like to do this. This is my intention with doing this. Because that's always important. You have to be aware of what your intentions are. Like, I'm in this competition. It's about, as of in a couple hours, the next round, I might not make it. It's miraculous if I do, which I believe that could happen, by the way. But I went through the last 8 rounds since early October, December 4th. And now we're at this final stage. And it's like, okay, it is what it is, right? It's like this online thing, and people are, essentially it's raising money for breast cancer, but the prize is like a $40,000 prize, 2-day vacation, and like this magazine cover. And my intentions on winning this really are to get some bills and things in line, give myself a good cushion, take my kids on a vacation. At first I'm like, I gotta get all my business things. Like, that was my first thing. I even put that in the little description when I signed up for, like, I'm gonna get my business going, I'm gonna do the community thing, I'm gonna do this for community, Like, all these idea sources have been given to me over the years. I'm like, I can finally have, seed money for these things. And it really took me some time. Like, even though I haven't won, I'm like, Source is like, no, slow down. Like, we're going to give you something. You want to get right back to work. Like, I have to learn how to relax more. Like, because I'm always like, okay, what else needs to be done? Okay, let's get the job done, get the job done. And I don't relax enough. I don't, sit in my glory, so to speak. I don't also recognize how much spiritual work I do. My spiritual mentor had to tell me that some years back. She was like, Leash, you've done a lot of energetic work. There is a such thing as spiritual fatigue. I was like, what? She's like, yeah, it's like your body gets tired. Your spirit can get tired from constantly working. Doing inner work, shadow work, mission work. Like you're always doing some work, like just relax. And that's when I started getting into, I think at one point we had pulled our moon signs. So you have your sun sign, so it's like your birth month. I'm a Leo, hey. And then you pull your moon sign, and I'm a Virgo moon, and I'm on the cusp, right? So my birthday's on the 21st, and then, go into Virgo a day or so later, but the energy is already starting to come in. So I'm on that cusp. And so part of my Virgo moon, which is how we nurture ourselves, right? That's how we take care of ourselves, calm ourselves, bring ourselves down, in a healthy vibrational way. And for me, literally it's doing nothing. When I was doing my research, it's like, just do nothing. Color, which I love to adult color, y'all. I love it. I do it. It's adult coloring books, but I'm doing it with my inner child, honestly. She's so beautiful. She's such a sweet girl. But, so creating, and it was like, watch a movie. I was like, let me go to the next page. It's like, yeah, watch a movie. You really benefit from just lounging around and doing nothing. That's how I nurture I'm like, what the? Because I'm a hard worker. Let me get this done. That's that strong, sun sign. Give light to the world. No, girl, go sit your ass down. There's literally, I pulled cards for myself from this very special deck, and one of the cards says, sit your ass down. And that's what Source be having me do. And I realize I need that. I do need that. I need that balance. I tell y'all to call your energy back from whatever situations, conversations, interactions. You smile at the clerk, you talk to the cashier, whatever. You pull your energy back throughout the day, at the end of the day. Cleanse your energy. Take a sea salt bath with the intentions of clearing your auric field. Breathe in divine, beautiful energy. Exhale negativity with gratitude. There's so many simple things you can do to cleanse and clear your aura, and I suggest you do it every day. You'll start to feel lighter. You'll start to feel more flowy. You'll start to feel less dense from the things and the situations that this ball of a matrix of a world, or whatever you want to call it, gives to us. It's meant to bring us down. It's meant to keep us at this heavy state, whether it's physically, or mentally, or emotionally. Because it's like, what if it's not one thing, it's another? That bullshit ass statement. That's like setting you up. The same with the I had an ex used to say all the time, I expect the worst. No, I hope for the best and I expect the worst. And I remember, I'm like, why would you expect the worst? Wouldn't you want to expect the best? You know what I'm saying? And fuck the worst. He said all the time. I never got it. Hope for the best, but expect the worst. So you're going to get what you expect. Not what you hope for. I expect the most beautiful, wonderful, miraculous circumstances in my life. I expect to be well taken care of by the divine. I expect not to have to worry about a thing when it comes to my household and my basic needs. I expect to be nurtured and loved and just rained upon with the most divine golden light from Source. I expect to do what I came here to do, enjoy, love, and in pleasure. I expect those things. And then I like to replace hope with trust. So you'll see when I say I trust, that's when people used to say I hope. I hope you had a good day. No, I trust that you had a good day, because I know it's divinely orchestrated that you could have had a good day, but did you choose to in those moments it was being brought to you? Like, I went to this interview earlier today, and I say it all the time to people, and I mean it. They're like, oh, how's your day going? I'm like, I woke up, I'm doing well, my kids are well, I have no complaints. Or I'll say, if I say no complaint, like, well, I could complain, but I won't. Because that's true. I came back, another chance, I arose, I woke up to experience life again in a new way, because I've never lived today. I've never lived today. You know? And somebody said something to me once, it was like, you're the youngest you'll ever be today. You're the youngest you'll ever be again today. And that just was so beautiful to me, because it really helps put into perspective how much of a gift the present and the present day is, and why we should be youthful, and why we should, explore and be adventurous and do what makes our hearts happy. I feel like I'm getting a lot of phrases tonight, but when people say you only live once, I don't believe in that. I never have. I'm like, you only die once. And you really don't die once. You don't, I guess you die, but I feel like we all come back multiple times. At least a couple times. There's some beings I feel like this might be their first lifetime, but it's the first because there's going to be more after that. I myself, all parts of me, we've been here a good minute. We've come back many a times, and I'm grateful for all of the remembrances that I'm getting, the access to my ancient self and my Akashic records, and who I am in my totality, and what I came to do, what I'm capable of doing, the power that is within me that I now choose to yield, and not yield, but wield to the world, to you, beautiful soul. And I trust that will ignite and spark in you something to have you desire, not only like desire, but have you feel that you too have so much to give, so much power. You're so very loved. I love you. I love you. Yeah. And I just want us both to, all of us, let's just grow. Let's learn. Let's explore. Let's be jovial, lighthearted, even through the bullshit. Because nothing comes to destroy us. It may seem like it, but you're that powerful that it only seems like it unless you allow it to be destructive. We have to give it permission. We have the power of tongue, the things we say. I'm really working on that. You heard I had to correct that yield to wield. Not gonna let that slide, because that matters. Words are spells. It's spelling. Spelling bee. Spell this word. Words are spells. Spells go out in the vibration into the universe. And if your heart attaches truth to that spell, that word, that sentence that you just said, then thus so it shall be. Universal law. Kind of wrapped all that into one. Because the universal laws rule the land. Truly. Even the government's faux laws. I could go into a whole thing with that. From years of experience of researching, feeling, and I don't mean like just Google researching. I mean cosmically, show me the truth source. Yeah. So I think I'll wrap it up with that, because the last thing I'll say is, one thing, if you are struggling and you have some difficulties with, really being your authentic self, I would definitely heavily say meditate. Get out into nature under a tree. You know, they are live energetic beings. They can help absorb negative energy. They can help give you different downloads. You know, listen to the wind. Feel that sun on your face. It's all a message. And don't second guess what you feel and what you're hearing. Don't second guess it. If you feel it in your heart to be really true, don't let the thoughts of the mind make you guess otherwise. Don't let the thoughts of the mind say otherwise. So I say all that to say, when you go into meditation, have your intention on what it is you're wanting to get out of it. I want to get in touch with my divine self. I want to feel what it is I'm ignoring that I need to heal from, that's, you know, so painful. I don't want to see it again or whatever. But one thing I will say is to ask for the truth no matter the cost, and mean it. Because your spirit team, source, God, universe will expose the truth, which is that's all we should ever want, is the truth. Don't pacify me. I used to think I wanted to pacify her and goo goo gaga. No, the hell I don't. Give me the truth so I can feel what I need to feel, get the lesson I need to get, help the next soul as I am meant, and move on to the next level. Not in no hurried, impatient way, but definitely not in no delayed, let me kick back and put up my feet way. That's why I am making sure that I'm more active with these videos and allowing myself to just flow. You know, before I started doing like, oh, I need a topic and I need sub points, and so it's like, get your ass on the video and I will bring to you as it needs to be what needs to come. Just be yourself. That's all I need you to do. I'm like, okay, you know. So I can tell when things are coming in. I can tell when it's source energy. I can feel when my aura, you know, adjusts. You know, when I'm giving a message from the divine itself, when I'm giving messages from different divine beings that are on my team, that are on your teams. And I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful for my growth. I'm very grateful for where I'm going. I'm very grateful for where I am at. And with that, I say that I love you. I trust that something here hit you the way your soul needed it to. I will see you soon. And that's it. Bye.